I would ask that all members and their guests to please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance to be led today by Ethan Huckle is going to lead us in the invocation. Mr. Huckle.
And thank you for embracing the transgender community of Rhode Island with a celebratory declaration. Roger Williams founded this state with democracy and freedom as grounding principles. And we have many times reaffirmed through the work of this body, Rhode Island as a state where all are welcome as they are. While there is more to do towards that end, we go into that work with these principles as our guide. I am honored as the board president of TGI Network of Rhode Island to present today's invocation. Today's resolution seeks to affirm a community which has long faced violence and discrimination and which is currently facing political attack throughout the nation and around the world. As you prepare to honor and uplift the transgender community, I call to our minds the memory of those pioneers who have led the way toward our collective freedom. Those who stood up for their own rights and worked to smooth the path for those who would follow. I call to mind those in Rhode Island who have come before the legislature to bear their personal stories in the hope that they can impart upon those who listened the humanity of a community. I call to mind the persistence and dedication of local leaders, as well as those whose names and stories remain unspoken. Today, we celebrate transgender empowerment, but there is work that remains to ensure that all transgender Rhode Islanders are empowered to live freely and speak their identities and experiences openly. There is work to ensure that transgender Rhode Islanders have access to the housing and healthcare and safety at home and in public, hallmarks of a quality life. And as we as a community and you as lawmakers engage in this important work, may you be guided by the principles of freedom and democracy that are foundational to our state, by the legacy of those who have striven for freedom throughout its history, and by hope that for what we can become together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Huckle. Leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance will be Senator Tiara Mack, representing the city of Providence. Senator Mack.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senator Mack.
Yes, I have with me today Ethan Huckle from the TGI Network and Justice Gaines, Zizim Zir, who is a local poet and activist. And before we begin, here's a little bit more about Justice Amir Gaines, a community organizer and poet here in Providence. Z is currently the Queer Justice Coordinator at PRISM, Providence Youth Student Movement. Zir's poetry explores the experience of being a Black trans woman in an apocalyptic America. Zir's work can be found on Poetry Magazine, Split This Rock, The Nation, and various other publications. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Mack. Justice Gaines.
Hello, thank you all for having me today. Again, my name is Justice Gaines. I'll be reading two poems in honor of trans empowerment and the resolution that you all passed. I will be reading the first poem and then going directly into the second. And before I start, I would just like to let folks in this room know who hold a lot of power in Rhode Island that trans empowerment can not only come in words, it also has to come in action. One vision for a world in which my kinfolk laugh and it's the loudest sound. For all my kinfolk to be good, they'll each need a bed and a kitchen, a space to hold company, food to fill up their fridge, sustainable and delicious, and they'll never have to buy a meal using their rent money. Oh, money won't be an issue because no one will need it. No one will pretend God laid a green bill on the ground so we could stare in awe while all this verdant beauty goes wasted. No, survival will not be a luxury. See, when I close my eyes, I picture a bright field filled with dozens of faces, so much color popping from their smiles, So this be a park, and the trees be proud, picnic blanket, gentle breeze, a full-course homemade meal that even the ants envy. The children chasing each other in the distance while grown folks smoke a J against the skyline. We got the classics on repeat, but we can barely hear it beneath the harmonies of finches and the bellows of our own jokes. We never look over our shoulder for watchers. Honey, don't be shy. You can join us in this concert of joy, laughing over and over. And I know we will protect this. No matter how many times we have to help someone fall in love with themselves over and over, or fall in love with their freedom over and over, the only chains we rockin' be the ones on our neck now. We will be nourished with this happiness we see in our loved ones. Maybe I'm too young to have these dreams, not yet mature enough to cling to struggle like a life vest. You should hear the names they call me, for wanting laughter to be the loudest sound. Still, I walk in the sunlight. I dream in the daytime. If gender is a performance, then of course I have a role to play. See, I've been acting all my life. Back when I was a child, I always got called for the boys' team. Always felt a little strange, but I mean, everyone called me mama's boy anyway. And I wasn't ashamed. I loved my mother. I wanted to be her. I knew what I wanted to be. Her, and my Aunt Val, and Miss Tootsie, and my grandma. I knew it. I felt it. Then I grew up, and I was still performing. Did orators, spoke my speeches, did theater, faked my fancies, read poems, wrote them, lived them, even ran for office once, and what a production that was. Of course I know how to perform. You think a black bitch like me makes it without learning how to fit in your small little mouths? 2 decades here, I tried to play the boys' roles. But even that charade grows old and tight and heavy, barely breathing inside such thin skin, and I swear I got free just in time to play the role of a lifetime. A character that would teach me more than any book ever could, grew my hair out, donned my gowns, adorned my lips, and no, none of that makes me a woman any more than the pussy between my legs. No, I learned what makes me a woman is me. Do you know something? I don't think I've been directing this show. I don't see my sisters on the production team. I don't see my brothers in the crew. None of my siblings or cousins, none of my neighbors are here. None of them get to sing on stage, starting to think these tickets might be scams. All these politicians scalping their pride out for the biggest dollar, then handing playbills full of false promises. And it's interesting, even the workers in the cheap seats are white. Like my fam don't even get to be equal when they pour. But of course I'm still performing, putting on a show for you, and you will clap when I am done. Because that's what we make of minstrels in costumes. That's what you think this all is anyway, a staging to soothe your ego. Only a stage can you perform for people who wouldn't let trans girls play sports but still have the audacity to be at a hearing on a bill. Only on a stage can you watch a front row laugh while they sit on chairs made of human bones. Only on a stage can you write hypocrisy in lights, condemn it for the hell it deserves, and they might not even cut off your mic. They might not even see the irony in the handshake they give you after. This is a stage, and I'm the actress, but all I see are liars. If gender is a performance, then the script is quite tired, full of fallacy and guilt-ridden comfort. Some play to appease the masses, and I'm tired of it. My black ass ain't here so you can be a little more tolerable of trans folks. My character is big enough to fill up this whole stage. My sisters are waiting in the wings to strike. See, I've been acting all my life, and y'all motherfuckers got far too comfortable enjoying the show.
Senator Mack.
May I have the resolution read?
Senator Mack requests that the resolution be read. The clerk will please do so.
Senate Resolution commemorating International Transgender Day of Visibility on March 31st, 2021 in the state of Rhode Island. Whereas March 31st, 2021 marks the 12th annual International Transgender Day of Visibility, celebrating the resilience and success of transgender and gender non-conforming people and raising awareness about transgender rights. And whereas transgender individuals and organizations have made myriad contributions to our state through volunteerism, advocacy, political engagement, military service, and cultural and artistic expression. And whereas transgender and non-binary people face significant cultural, legal, and economic challenges and are often forced to live with the fear of discrimination or violence. And whereas calling attention to issues of systemic biases and individual transphobia and providing protection under federal or state law is necessary in order to ensure basic protections that guarantee human dignity. And whereas education and training are the most effective tools employers can use to facilitate workplace gender transitions and to raise awareness of gender nonconforming designations, because by promoting an inclusive workplace where all employees feel respected and safe and one in which they can bring their whole selves is good business. And whereas society has a responsibility to stand with a community so often marginalized, to elevate people so often pushed down, to hear and speak to the pain and loss faced by transgender individuals, and to work to upend the system that tacitly permits it. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this Senate of the State of Rhode Island hereby commemorates International Transgender Day of Visibility on March 31st, 2021, and celebrates the myriad contributions transgender persons inculcate and impart to society and the diversity of our state, and urges all Rhode Islanders to prioritize inclusivity and equality for all. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be and she is hereby authorized and directed to transmit duly certified copies of this resolution to the TGI network of Rhode Island.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Senator Mack.
Thank you for, I believe this is one of our first Transgender Day of Empowerment that we're celebrating in the Senate. I'm really happy that we have taken this moment to uplift a community that is an integral part of Rhode Island, especially as we see nationwide there are policies and legislation that seek to diminish the light that is so bright in the transgender community. And I hope that we here in Rhode Island can continue to affirm our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones who are members of this community. Thank you.
Senator Mack moves passage of the resolution. Seconded by Senator Cardinal, Senator Felix, Senator Acosta, Senator Pearson, Senator Picard, Senator Lawson, Senator DeMario, Senator Bell, Senator Mendez, Senator McCaffrey, Senator Anderson, Senator Murray, Senator Valverde, Senator Golden, Senator Coyne, Senator De Palma, Senator Lombardi, Senator Coleman, Senator Casada, Senator Sosnowski, Senator Miller, Senator Burke, Senator Corcoran, Senator Mendes, Senator Raptakis, Senator Goodwin. Discussion on the resolution. Also seconded by Senator Gallo and Senator Paolino. Discussion on the resolution. Hearing none, all those in favor of the resolution, please indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The resolution passes.